Wake up!
Life as a man is so brutally simple. You wake up and you blame yourself for everything. You look in the mirror and you say, all of this shit is my fault. All of it.
So how do I fix it?
So how do I get it fixed? Nobody's gonna come fix it for you. Nobody gives a shit about you. You have to give a shit about yourself. It's down to you and you alone, because nobody else is waking up each day thinking of how they can get you to have more money and you to have a nicer life. They're too busy worried about themselves.
The answer is nearly always the same. Get rich, ignore the noise. Buckle down, ignore the noise. Lock in, focus, do important shit, ignore the noise. And make sure you're doing things that actually matter.
Gentlemen, nobody is ever going to be grateful for any of the things you do for them. They're never going to be grateful to the direct proportion of the size of the deed you have completed. They may say thankful, they may say thank you, they may be thankful for a few minutes, but by and large, you're going to massively outperform in regards to value given and gratitude received. You've already noticed this in your life. When you do something massive and monumental for somebody, they're happy with you for 10 to 15 minutes. They may mention it again in the future, but they're not grateful by and large. People are ungrateful. This is how humanity works. So you have to go through life doing good things for people to get self-generated happiness. Not for other people to be grateful, not for other people to say you're amazing. Take the frustration, take the negativity, take all the anger, take all the pain, and use it to win. Don't try and tax the rich. Become rich so you don't pay taxes. Do you understand? This is the correct operating software. These are the correct operating parameters that allow you to have the best possible life. You're not going to change other people, but you can change yourself. Take responsibility. Brutal self-accountability. Brutal. If you do that, if you brutally accept that everything in your human experience is your own fault, then you stand a chance of living a life worth living. Complaining about the nature of others is not going to allow you to win.
Anybody who thinks that a lifestyle comes like this without dedicating yourself for at least a decade to the endless work which must be required to prove to God that you deserve to be a main character on earth is a fool. God is sitting there waiting for somebody to put their hand up and say, look, I work harder than the others. Look, I've tried harder than everyone else. I worked on the days I was sick. I worked on the days I was tired. I dedicated myself and did exactly what you wanted me to do. Please bless me with the best possible existence any man on earth could have.
Get rich and get out. You do not have time to sit around and plan. You do not have time for a 4-year degree. You do not have time to sit and think it's going to be better later or we'll vote our way out of this. All that's long gone. You need to get rich today.
If you're not out here becoming successful to get revenge on the people who didn't believe on you, you're a perma victim who is nothing but a prey for predators. Are you going to live 70 long years with nobody who ever wrongs you regretting that decision? You're going to be 70 years old and everybody who ever treated you badly is going to be glad they did, because they're going to think of you as a scumbag. They're going to think, I'm glad I don't talk to him anymore. I'm glad I left that guy. I'm glad I never believed in him. And they're going to be right. And you don't have motivation to go try, so they feel some regret. You want to just be the laughing stock of everybody who's ever interacted with you ever, and you lack motivation somehow? You don't have a six-pack, big arms, a bunch of money, a Lambo. You have none of those things, and all the people who ever said you were a f***ing loser were right? Imagine that. That's how you're going to live your life as a man?
When you're trying to convince somebody of something, you have to think, there's 2 ways I can do this. Do I attack it with love or do I attack it with evil? If I attack it with love, I try to make them feel that the inverse is evil. And if I attack it with evil, I try and make them feel that the inverse is love. Let me give you an example. I can say to you, guys, you need to be rich. And let me attack it with love. You need to be rich. You need the freedom. You need to be able to drive in a fast car. You need people to think you're important. You need to fly on private jets. Life's worth living. Look how great it is to be rich. Or I can say, guys, you need to be rich, or you're going to be working a 9 to 5, listening to some female boss sitting in the commute every day. I can make you hate being poor to make you love being rich. Or I can make you love being rich to make you hate being poor. It's the same emotion. Love, evil, it's the same.
You have a girlfriend. You have a weak friend who also has a girlfriend. And that weak friend, of course, because he's weak, is controlled by his girlfriend. Let's imagine you're in business with this guy and his girlfriend and him start arguing. And she's his world. She's everything to him. And you need a very important thing done for the company. You need a report by Friday afternoon. And his girlfriend is bored. I'm bored. All you do is work. Take me out somewhere. I'm tired of this. All you do is work. Do you think he's going to choose work and your company or choose her? She isn't paying your bills. And if the company fails, she will leave him. But he will still pick her over your joint venture because he is weak, making him a bad business partner.
I'm not saying that the only way out is easy. I'm not saying it's easy to break a concrete wall with your head. I'm not saying it's easy to make money online and have a bunch of money and be a millionaire and travel around the world and do whatever you want. I'm saying it's the only choice. It's the only choice. I know it's hard, but it's that or die. Everyone keeps emailing me for questions. What do I do about this? Get rich, get geographically free. What do I do about this? Get rich, get geographically free. How do I get girls? Get rich, get geographically free. What do I do about this? There's only one answer. And they say, oh, but it's hard. I never said it wasn't. I never said it wasn't hard. I said it's your only fucking choice. And the easiest way for you to find the power to take the hard path is for you to accept that everything else you were dreaming of, all of the rest of your coat, sitting around going, well, I'm not rich, I'm not geographically free, but don't worry, I voted for. All of that is holding you back. It's holding you back. The coat has got to go. If you're a full-grown man and you're watching this and you do not have the capability to take your entire family and move to Tokyo tomorrow for whatever reason, if you don't have that kind of finance or capability, you take a long, hard look in the mirror and say, what the does my love even mean?
Yeah.
What kind of man, what kind of head of the family even am I? I can say I love my wife all day long. I can say I love my kids all day long. What does that even mean if I'm not going to finish work and take an extra hour out of my day to try something new to escape the fucking matrix before all of this crumbles?
Yeah.
Your love means nothing if you don't try. Nobody's broke. I remember people being baroque. When I was young and I had no money, I was baroque. I have no phone. I have no money. What do you mean you're going to town? I can't afford the £1 bus. I cannot go anywhere. I can barely afford to breathe. Nobody's like that anymore. I see everyone complaining about money. Then they're in Marbella. The fuck? And there's more rich people than ever. I keep going to dinner. It's 20 grand a head. I keep going and buying yachts. They're all sold out. Lambos don't even mean anything anymore. You need to have a Bugatti for it to even matter. Lambos mean nothing. Has the global economy just got richer? I know it's a scam. I know everyone's struggling. I know everyone's in debt. But at the same time, no one actually seems to be poor. Where I grew up on the council estate, no one had anything. You didn't even have a bike. If you had a bike, you had to worry about getting robbed at knife point for your bike. Now these kids on the council estate have Nike shoes, iPhones. Their parents have iPhones. Their parents are smoking away on cigarettes. They're still eating. They're fat, so they got calories. I don't know. Is it just me? Am I going crazy? The rich have gotten richer, but the poor have gotten richer. And I don't think the poor try any harder than they ever have. Meaning there's more money and it's easier to make money than ever before. When you say to me, all the poor people have more money than they used to have. If you look at a council estate in 1990, the clothes they were wearing, the car they were in, if they were in a car, the life they were living, none of them went on holiday, their parents didn't have a car. Now a council estate, all the kids have iPhones, their parents go on 2 holidays a year, and their parents got a car. So if the poor are getting richer without trying any harder, then you, as a person who tries hard, should get monumentally rich. You should be filthy rich, right? Is the game getting easier or harder? Perhaps it was easier for a while, and now because the machines are going to come and take everybody's money, it's getting hard again. I'm working it out. I'm talking through it with you. But have you noticed, even brokies ain't that broke. And the rich people are really rich.
maybe the game for a while was easier than it's ever been. And everything is cyclical. And now with AI, with financialized capital, the fact that even crypto is ripping everyone off, maybe it's about to get really hard again. Maybe the brokies are about to be really poor again. Like really poor. Like really. Sir, please, sir, can I have some food?